Oh, buckle up, buttercups, because Meghan Markle has absolutely re-entered her favourite royal role. And surprise, surprise, she's using her royal cipher complete with an actual crown to sell candles and spread. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, as ever, the shameless Highgrove imitation that nobody asked for. Picture this delightful scene. Meghan sitting at her laptop in what can only be described as a soulless showroom of beige minimalism that screams, "I hired an interior designer but have zero personality." She's giving Pinterest core meets trust fund baby energy. Perched on her desk, a ridiculously overpriced $64 candle and a blue notebook embossed in gold with her precious royal cipher. A letter M, wearing a tiny little crown like a pathetic logo that desperately screams, "Remember when I actually mattered to anyone?" That monogram, unveiled back in 2018 before her wedding to Harry, was supposedly part of her royal duties era. You know, back when she pretended to care about service. But apparently, quitting the family business doesn't mean quitting the branding opportunities, does it? The clip dropped on Instagram like it was some groundbreaking royal announcement, except instead of palace gates and adorable corgis, we got served a $64 candle that allegedly evokes the freshness of a day in the English countryside, which is quite the audacious claim for someone who hasn't actually lived in the English countryside since fleeing in 2020. Still, she shamelessly insists this new line supposedly harks back to her cherished memories of her May 19, 2018 wedding, because nothing says cherished memories quite like monetizing your marital symbolism for maximum profit, right? Royal fans were absolutely quick to point out what literally everyone was thinking. Another example of Meghan putting her royal cipher on pretty much anything, one person wrote with evident exasperation. Another added, "Pretty difficult to sell a candle for that price if it's not royal." Translation: if it doesn't actually smell like Buckingham Palace corridors, absolutely no one's buying this overpriced garbage. Now, this isn't even the first time Meghan's gone all in with her royal branding obsession. She's been obnoxiously mailing out embossed stationery with that same cipher to influencers, authors and podcast guests, as if she's still sending important correspondence from Frogmore Cottage instead of her Montecito mansion. She even had a gaudy gold signet ring specially engraved with the joint cipher she shares with Harry, H&M, beneath a coronet, straight out of a children's Royal Crest colouring book. And now, presenting this Christmas collection. The As Ever festive drop features 2 candles, one celebrating her wedding date, another commemorating her August 4th birthday, because everything must revolve around her, plus an absolutely ridiculous $89 bottle of vintage Napa Valley Brut. It also includes a $42 fruit spread set complete with strawberry, raspberry and orange marmalade flavours. But here's where things start smelling less like mulled spice and more like shameless copycat behaviour. Internet sleuths quickly noticed that Meghan's entire brand aesthetic, from the colour palette to the website layout, looks suspiciously identical to Highgrove Gardens, the lifestyle and product line owned by her father-in-law, King Charles himself. The muted tones, the gold accents, even the specific placement of the quantity buttons, all blatantly ripped straight out of the Highgrove playbook. One observer perfectly joked that if this were an art school assignment, she'd be immediately flunked for plagiarism. Let's not overlook the logo design either. 2 birds, a tree in the middle, and a clean, classic design that might as well scream, "I frantically Googled royal aesthetic," and shamelessly went from there. It's as if Meghan arrogantly thought Americans wouldn't know what Highgrove is or notice the theft. But perhaps the most delicious irony in all of this? The Highgrove line generously donates all its profits to charity. Every single penny goes to good causes. Meghan's As Ever line, on the other hand, funnels straight into her Montecito pockets for more mansion renovations. It's like she looked at a noble cause and said, "Cute idea, but how about I make it for profit instead?" Social media didn't miss a single beat. She's basically selling Highgrove on Temu, one user quipped brilliantly. Another commented, "Old money versus new money. Real aristocracy just doesn't do this tacky nonsense." A third chimed in, "Who wants to bet even her toilet paper has the cipher pretentiously stamped on it?" There's something hilariously tone-deaf about Meghan, the woman who famously accused the royal family of racism and institutional cruelty, still desperately clinging to a literal symbol of the monarchy. If the crown was supposedly so toxic, why is it stamped on your stationery, love? For someone who claimed she desperately wanted to break free, she's holding on to that M with a crown like it's her American Express black card. Fans also called out Meghan's shameless self-promotion tactics with increasing frustration. Remember when she casually mentioned she always travels with a candle? Turns out that wasn't a cute personality quirk at all. It was calculated foreshadowing for product placement. She was literally soft launching her own product line to unsuspecting audiences. The audacity is both infuriating and kind of iconic, honestly. At a recent bookstore event, Meghan waxed poetic about how the smell of mulling spices makes her home feel warm and welcoming and blah blah blah. And surprise, as ever, is now conveniently selling mulling spices. It's not even subtle anymore, folks. It's like she's running a one-woman QVC special with a Duchess twist that nobody requested. You half expect her to end every sentence with link in bio, swipe up. But let's be fair here. Meghan isn't just copying royal aesthetics and calling it inspiration. She's also copying the royal business model minus the charity component, naturally. When you compare her candles to Highgrove's offerings, the difference is absolutely glaring. Highgrove products look refined, elegant, steeped in authenticity and genuine heritage. Meghan's? Basic, uninspired, and carrying that distinctive scent of mass-produced and rebranded wholesale garbage. She could have built something original, something meaningful with actual substance. Instead, she slapped her name and a crown on some wholesale goods and called it luxury lifestyle branding. From a branding perspective, it's an absolute disaster of epic proportions. As ever, feels like the awkward, illegitimate child of Goop and a Buckingham Palace gift shop clearance sale bin. There's no soul, no innovation, no vision, just the hollow echo of royal-adjacent marketing desperation. And while her most loyal defenders are still pathetically clinging to arguments like, "But her candle is cheaper than Highgrove's," even they sound tired and unconvincing. In fact, the As Ever candles are actually more expensive than the Highgrove candles anyway. Let's not pretend this is new behaviour either. Meghan's been pulling this manipulative play for years, using royal symbols, titles, and nostalgia whenever her failing projects need a little boost or relevance. The couple was explicitly told not to profit off their titles commercially, and yet, here we are again with more merchandise. Even people who once rooted for Meghan are now side-eyeing her every calculated move. The same woman who said she desperately wanted a private life has turned her entire brand into one long humble brag about her royal past experiences. She's like that annoying friend who quit her corporate job to become an influencer, but still puts former Goldman Sachs associate in her bio because without it, she's nobody. And then there's the irony of it all, which is truly chef's kiss. The royal family she accused of trapping her is the very thing keeping her business afloat financially. Without that M monogram with its crown, she's just another ex-actress with an Instagram candle line competing with thousands of others. As Ever isn't a brand with vision, it's an identity crisis in packaging form, desperately searching for relevance. Meanwhile, Highgrove continues to thrive, elegant, charitable, unbothered by copycat competition. King Charles is out here funding gardens and community projects, while Meghan's trying to convince Californians that her marmalade is a spiritual experience worth $42. Let's be honest though, this is Meghan's predictable pattern we've seen repeatedly. Every attempt at reinvention ends up circling back to her royal connection like a moth to flame. Whether it's a podcast about empowerment, a Netflix docuseries about royal trauma, or a candle that smells like the countryside she left behind, it all traces back to the same thing: the crown she claims to despise. She claims to hate it, yet she can't live without it or let it go. From the outside, it's both tragic and hilarious to watch unfold. She had every resource imaginable at her disposal: money, influence, connections, global platform, and instead of building something visionary or groundbreaking, she copied the family she swore off and claimed traumatized her. The only thing original about As Ever is how utterly unoriginal it manages to be. So yes, Meghan Markle is shamelessly cashing in on her royal connections yet again. But this time, the currency isn't pounds or dollars, it's dignity and credibility. And like her overpriced candles, it's burning fast and smelling worse. If As Ever was supposed to mark her evolution beyond royalty and into independence, then consider this launch a royal regression of the highest order. Because while Meghan may have left the palace in a dramatic exit, the palace branding never left her calculating mind.